Did you know that the most dangerous person in the room is usually the one you can't hear? While everyone else is talking over each other, trying to prove their importance through sheer volume, this person sits in silence. But when they finally choose to speak, the entire room goes dead quiet. Do you want that kind of presence? Then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to talk about how to command absolute respect, even when you aren't saying a word. Most people mistake silence for weakness. They assume that if you're quiet, you must be insecure. But what if I told you that your silence isn't a bug? It's a feature. We're going to break down 20 Stoic principles that will transform your restraint into unbreakable armor and a magnet for respect. Ready to learn the secret used by emperors for centuries? Let's dive in. Before we get to the practical steps, let's look at where this philosophy actually comes from. Stoicism wasn't born in a dusty library. It was forged in ancient Greece and Rome. This wasn't a theory for academics. It was a blueprint for warriors, politicians and kings. Take Marcus Aurelius, for example. He ruled half the known world. He had the power to execute anyone with a snap of his fingers. He could have spent his life shouting orders and throwing tantrums. Instead, history remembers him as the ultimate symbol of restraint and wisdom. The Stoics believed that true power isn't found in loud displays, but in internal control. For someone who is naturally quiet, this is the perfect foundation. The world is loud. It's chaotic. And the person who can remain calm in the middle of that chaos, that is the person people instinctively follow. People crave stability. If you're already quiet, you're already halfway to being a Stoic. Now you just need to learn how to project that strength. The first and most vital lesson is the power of the pause. Picture this. Someone makes a crude joke at your expense or tries to goad you into a conflict. The typical reaction is to snap back, get defensive, or worst of all, give a nervous laugh. A Stoic does none of these. A Stoic pauses. You look the person in the eye. You stay silent. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3. In that silence, something powerful happens. Your opponent begins to feel uneasy. They expected a reaction to feed their ego, but instead, they found only a void. And they will instinctively begin to fill that void with their own insecurity. Did I go too far? Are they judging me? Your silence becomes a mirror, forcing them to see their own foolishness reflected back at them. Use this pause before answering any important question. It shows that you are not reactive. It shows that you weigh your words carefully. And words that are measured are worth their weight in gold. Try it tomorrow at work. When someone asks you a question, simply wait 3 seconds while maintaining eye contact. Only then, give your answer. Part 2 is the art of listening in a way that makes people want to tell you everything. Most people don't actually listen. They're just waiting for their turn to speak. You've seen it. The wandering eyes, the misplaced nodding, the mental rehearsing of their next argument. This is where quiet people have the edge. They know how to truly listen. But Stoic listening isn't about passive nodding. It's about active analysis. Think of yourself as a detective gathering intelligence. When you listen with intent, you give the other person the most valuable thing possible, a sense of importance. It's a paradox. The more you let others talk about themselves, the more intelligent and fascinating they think you are. People are naturally self-centered, so give them the stage and be the attentive audience. By the end of the conversation, you'll know their motives, their fears, and their desires, while they'll know absolutely nothing about yours. That is a position of power. Knowledge is leverage, and you get it for free, simply by keeping your mouth shut and your ears open. Let's talk about the economy of words. In economics, there is a fundamental law. The more abundant a resource, the less it's worth. If gold were as common as dirt, it would be worthless. Your words work the same way. People don't respect a chatterbox because their speech has been devalued. They simply say whatever pops into their heads. A Stoic, however, speaks only when necessary. You should make your words a scarce commodity. If you are known for your silence, then when you finally do choose to speak, the room goes quiet. People lean in. Why? Because they instinctively understand. If he's speaking, it must be important. Strip away the filler, the excuses, and the empty small talk that serves no purpose. Speak with precision, clarity, and brevity. The Spartans, who shared the Stoic spirit, were famous for this laconic style. When the king of Macedon sent them a threat saying, "If I enter Laconia, I will raze Lacedaemon to the ground," the Spartans replied with just one word: if. The fourth point is emotional mastery, or what's known as the Stoic citadel. You see, no one can truly offend you unless you choose to accept the offence. As Epictetus famously put it, people are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. It's natural for quiet people to be highly sensitive, and there's nothing wrong with that. But on the outside, you must remain a rock. When chaos hits the workplace, when everyone else is scrambling, shouting, and panicking, and you're just sitting there, calmly doing your job, you become the anchor for the entire team. Respect naturally flows toward the person who stays in control while everyone else is losing theirs. This doesn't mean you're a robot or that you don't feel anything. It means you've created a space between the emotion and your reaction. You acknowledge the fear, you recognize the anger, but you refuse to let them drive your actions. Think of yourself as a captain in a storm. The crew might be panicking, but the captain's eyes must remain fixed on the compass. Be that captain. Part 5. Actions speak louder than words. It's a cliché, but through the lens of Stoicism, it takes on a whole new meaning. Most people love to broadcast their plans. I'm going to start running. I'm going to learn a new language. I'm launching a business. They're chasing validation before they've even begun. The quiet person does the opposite. They simply put in the work, and when the results finally surface, it leaves everyone stunned. That element of surprise amplifies respect tenfold. No one saw you studying, yet here you are speaking fluently with a foreign partner. You didn't boast, you just showed up every day. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This is the ultimate blueprint for earning respect. Stop trying to convince people of your value or explaining who you are. Show them. Let your achievements speak for you. That is a language everyone understands, and it's one that no one can argue with. The sixth principle is simple. Stop complaining. Have you ever truly respected a chronic whiner? It's too hard. My boss is a nightmare. Life is just so hard. Complaining is a loud signal of helplessness. It's a declaration that you are a victim of your circumstances. The Stoics fundamentally rejected the victim mentality. If a problem can be fixed, fix it. If it can't, accept it and move on. It sounds harsh, but it works. There is a quiet power in a person who endures hardship in silence and just keeps moving forward. It commands respect. People look at them and wonder, where do they get that kind of strength? The secret is simple. You aren't wasting energy on whining. You are directing all of it toward adaptation. When you stop complaining, you stop being a toxic presence and start becoming a pillar of strength. People won't come to you to cry on your shoulder. They will come to you to learn how to stand tall. Number 7. Eye contact. Quiet people often make the mistake of looking away, staring at the floor or burying their head in a phone to dodge social pressure. Don't do that. Your eyes are a weapon. Aim for a stoic gaze, direct, calm, and slightly analytical. You aren't staring aggressively, you're simply holding your gaze while the other person speaks. Don't blink too much, and don't let your eyes dart around the room like you're looking for an escape. Practice this skill. When you say no or state your opinion, look them dead in the eye. This signals absolute confidence, showing you have nothing to hide. Even if you're trembling on the inside, your gaze must remain unshakable. In the animal kingdom, a direct stare is a challenge. In the human world, it's a claim to equality or dominance. Don't give up that ground without a fight. The 8th pillar is independence from the judgment of others. This is the very heart of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius once noted the irony. We all love ourselves more than anyone else, yet we value their opinions more than our own. Quiet individuals often fall into the trap of seeking external validation, constantly asking themselves, "Did I do the right thing?" or "What will they think of me?" A Stoic, however, is their own judge. You must build your own internal code of honor and set your own standards of excellence. If you know you've done a job well, you don't need a manager's praise to feel a sense of worth. If you've acted with a clear conscience, the rumors of others lose their power over you. This radical self-sufficiency, known as autarky, is palpable. There is an effortless gravity to someone who doesn't need your approval. It makes them magnetic. When you stop trying to please others or seek their favor, a paradox occurs. By not needing anyone's validation, you become the person whose validation everyone else craves. Number 9. Avoid gossip. It's the fastest way to kill your reputation, even if it feels like you're just fitting in. We've all heard it. Did you hear what Sarah from accounting did? It's tempting to nod along just to stay in the loop. But a Stoic understands that talking behind someone's back proves you can't be trusted. If you're gossiping about Sarah with Mike today, you'll be gossiping about Mike with Sarah tomorrow, and everyone knows it. If you're a naturally quiet person, use that to your advantage. When the trash talking starts, just stay silent. Or better yet, stay neutral. Say something like, "I don't know the whole story, so I'd rather not judge." You could even just leave the room. It might seem cold at first, but over time, it builds a reputation of ironclad integrity. People will realize they can be honest with you because you won't betray them. Your silence becomes a vault for their secrets, and that is a rare and powerful thing. The 10th principle is the suspension of judgment. Most of us are quick to label everything. This is good, that's bad. He's an idiot, or this is a total disaster. The Stoics, however, taught us to hold back. An event happens, and that's it. It is simply a fact. It is your judgment alone that makes it good or bad. A quiet person gives themselves the luxury of time to think before delivering a verdict. While everyone else is panicking and shouting that the sky's falling, you are busy analysing the situation. This naturally creates an aura of wisdom. When you finally speak up and say, "The situation is difficult, but here are our options," you become the voice of reason in a madhouse. Don't be in a hurry to join the chorus of outrage or excitement. Instead, maintain the neutrality of an observer. The person who refuses to get swept up in the collective hysteria is the one who ultimately stays in control. Section 11. Body language. Stoicism isn't just a mindset. It's the physical embodiment of composure. Observe how anxious people behave. They fidget, tug at their clothes, tap their feet, and constantly shift their posture. This is body noise. A person who is quiet in spirit should be quiet in motion. Own the space around you. Sit comfortably. Move a fraction slower than usual. Fluidity signals confidence and high status. Predators don't fidget before they strike. Kings don't rush across their throne rooms. Slow down. When you turn your head, do it deliberately, with your whole torso or a calm, steady gaze. Eliminate restless hand gestures. Let your stillness say, "I cannot be moved unless I choose to move." This creates a physical presence, a weight to your personality that fills the entire room. Lesson 12. Master the art of saying no without excuses. Quiet individuals often fall into the trap of nice guy syndrome. They fear that a refusal might cause offense, but true respect is built on boundaries. Without them, you aren't a person. You're a doormat. A Stoic understands the true value of time. It is our only irreplaceable resource. Remember, memento mori. So when someone asks you for something that clashes with your goals or principles, simply say no. And here's the crucial part. Do not spend the next 30 minutes apologising. "I'm sorry, but I can't. I have other plans." That's it. Full stop. Offering excuses suggests you feel guilty for being in control of your own life. Don't do that. A firm, polite no commands far more respect than a weak, reluctant yes. Point 13. Competence. To the Stoics, virtue is the ultimate good, and a vital part of that virtue is mastery of your craft. You can be the quietest person in the room, but if you are the best at what you do, people will naturally seek you out. Silence is your edge. It provides the focus needed for deep work. While others are busy with small talk and social posturing, you are diving deeper. Become indispensable. Master the subjects that others are too lazy to learn. Let your competence be your voice. When a real problem arises, eyes don't turn to the loudest talker. They turn to the person who actually has the answer. Let your professionalism be so undeniable that your silence is seen not as being withdrawn, but as the mark of a genius. Block 14. Stop trying to be someone you're not. Too many introverts make the mistake of putting on a mask, trying to act like the life of the party. It feels forced and unnatural, and people can spot that kind of fakeness a mile away. Stoicism teaches us to embrace our true nature. If you are an introvert, strive to be the best version of an introvert, not a second-rate imitation of an extrovert. Own your silence. Let it be a core part of your character. When you are truly comfortable in your own skin, people sense it. They'll think, he's quiet but he's solid. That is how you earn real respect. Authenticity is a rare commodity. In a world where everyone is performing for the camera and chasing a perfect image, the person who is simply themselves, without trying to impress anyone, stands out like a rock, unshakable and real. The 15th principle is premeditatio malorum, the anticipation of adversity. The Stoics practiced a powerful mental exercise. They imagined everything going sideways. You lose your job, your project fails, people treat you with contempt. Why? So you're never caught off guard. When a crisis actually hits, a Stoic doesn't freeze. They don't panic because in their mind, they've already lived through it. While everyone else is losing their heads, you already have a plan B ready. That composure, built on preparation, makes you stand out. You become the rock that others lean on. People will ask, how are they so calm? What do they know that I don't? You know that panic is useless, but a clear head is everything. Section 16. The power of humility. Bragging is nothing more than a sign of insecurity. It's like screaming, "Look at me! Look how great I am!" A Stoic has no need for that, but you might wonder, if I don't talk about it, how will people know what I've achieved? Trust me, they'll find out. Word of your success often travels faster than the work itself. And when someone else sings your praises, it's 10 times more convincing than if you said it yourself. If you've crushed a project, just deliver it. When you're praised, a simple thank you is enough. Don't downplay your efforts, but don't let your ego inflate either. Humility backed by real competence. That is the ultimate formula for earning respect. Lesson 17. Punctuality and commitment. Does that sound boring? Maybe, but it's the bedrock of respect. In a chaotic world, the person who shows up on time and follows through is a rarity. For a quiet person, this is how you make a statement without saying a word. Being on time says, I respect your time and I respect my own. Keeping your word says, my word is my bond. You don't need to beat your chest or make grand oaths. Your reputation precedes you. People know that if the quiet guy says he'll do something, they can step back and breathe easy. No follow-up needed. That creates a level of deep trust that no amount of smooth talking can ever buy. Number 18. Ignore provocations and insults. Seneca used to say that it is impossible to insult a wise person. If a statement is true, it's just a fact. If it's false, it's the liar's problem, not yours. If someone calls you a fool when you are wise, it is simply their own lack of vision. If you actually did something foolish, then they are right. So focus on fixing the mistake instead of taking offense. Imagine you are a solid rock and the world is the ocean. The waves may crash, roar and foam around you, yet the rock remains unchanged. When someone tries to get under your skin, observe them with a detached curiosity, as if looking at a strange insect. Ask yourself, I wonder why they are acting this way. Perhaps they're just having a bad day. This emotional distance pulls the rug out from under the aggressor. They come looking for a fight, but they find only a void. And in that void, they have already lost. Block 19. Continuous growth. Think of it as Kaizen. While it's not strictly Stoic, it aligns perfectly with the pursuit of excellence. The Stoics were lifelong students, and you should be too. You need to be a person of substance. A quiet person with no interests is simply dull. But a quiet person who reads, pursues hobbies, and understands politics, art or technology, that person is an enigma. Sharpen your intellect, fill your silence with meaning. When you finally choose to speak, bring real value to the conversation. Profound thoughts, fascinating facts, and unique perspectives. Let your knowledge turn your presence into an exclusive circle that everyone wants to be a part of. The 20th and final principle is amor fati, the love of fate. Embrace everything that happens to you with genuine gratitude. Are you quiet? Good. An introvert? Perfect. If you were overlooked, take it as a lesson. If you were promoted, see it as a test. Don't fight reality. Work with it. This brings an incredible sense of inner peace. People can sense when you are in harmony with yourself and the world. You radiate a vibe of quiet strength. You don't complain about the hand you've been dealt. You play it to the absolute best of your ability. And it's those players who usually walk away with everything. There they are, the 20 building blocks of an unshakable authority. Remember, being quiet doesn't mean being invisible. In fact, true strength is often found in the silence. Stoicism teaches us that respect isn't demanded through noise. It's earned through self-control, meaningful action, and inner resolve. Try putting just one of these principles into practice today. Take a pause. Hold eye contact. Keep a promise. You'll notice a shift in how the world treats you almost immediately. Thank you for watching until the end. If you found this valuable and want more content on the psychology of power and philosophy, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your support helps us grow. And now, a question for you. Which of these 20 points do you find the most challenging? Let me know in the comments and let's start a conversation. Remember, volume is not power. You are the power.